I want to share with you a masterpiece, something that helps you understand why you are acting in the way you are acting, and something that also helps you understand even why your children are acting the way they are acting, or probably your cousin, your niece. This particular thing, since I've already explained to us in our previous episode on the formulation of human habit, this was a discovery that was worked on by Dr. Bruce Lipton on the programming of human mind. The human mind, according to Aristotle, is tabula rasa. When the human mind comes to this world, it is on a clean slate. There's nothing on the human mind. We also have some epistemologists, those that study knowledge, that also say that the human mind is never a clean slate. It even comes with some innate knowledge right from the womb of the mother. We are not here to say who is right or who is wrong. However, I'm here today to share with you that the first 7 years of your child's life is the most important years of that particular child. This is during the 7 years from age 0 to 7 is the time we think these children don't know anything. However, it is the time those children are actually learning how to function as humans in the real sense. And how do they learn how to function as humans? Number one, they learn even how to walk, they learn how to cry, they learn how to move, they learn how to crawl, they learn how to speak, they acclimatize themselves with the environment. While they are doing this, they are learning a lot of things, just that they can't communicate what they are learning to us. So from age 0 to 7, everything a child witnesses, everything a child sees, goes to the child's brain. And at the end of the day, they forget a lot of what happened between age 0 to 7. However, it is what happened between age 0 to 7 that majorly forms their subconscious. And like I mentioned in one of the previous episodes, the position of William James, where he said 90% of human actions are 90% of human behavior are mere products of habits. And how do you form habits? Through your subconscious. So today, if you find a child that is finding it difficult to speak in public, probably that child has been shut down, told you are a terrible speaker, while the child was very little. Or at the time if you find a child that is an introvert, probably there was a time the child was trying to talk and somebody shut him down. You shut up, what are you saying? Don't you know you are not supposed to speak? And this child feels ashamed that when they later grow up, they find it difficult for them to speak in public. I'm still going to go to the concept of a phobia later on in some of our later episodes. So the most important time in the life of a child is between 0 to 7. And specifically, Dr. Bruce Lipton called it, he said, the programming of the human mind. The programming of the human mind. Our laptops are programmed. Our phones are programmed. Our televisions are programmed. And whatever function that does not exist in the programming of our phones and our laptop, they can't perform those functions. So you can't say a phone that is not programmed with 5G, you cannot put 5G on that phone. It will be useless. It won't work. A phone that is not programmed to use 4G cannot take 4G. A phone that is not programmed to take 8K, the resolution, it won't be able to take 8K. A phone that is also not programmed to take 4K won't take 4K. A phone that is not programmed to do some sophisticated mathematical computation, they won't also be able to make them. Why? Because they were not programmed to function that way. Human beings also are also programmed. And human beings are programmed between the age of 0 to 7. So whatever thing that is not deposited in a child from age 0 to 7 are the things those children find burdensome. They find it effortful before they can achieve those things. However, the things you've introduced to your children from age 0 to 7 are the things those children are able to do effortlessly. They are the things those children are able to do just with little effort. And that the same thing also goes to language. A lot of us just want our children to master only one language, which is English language. And it is extremely difficult for you to find a Nigerian that has perfected English language. Even those who teach English language still make mistakes. Even editors in TV stations, editors in a newspaper, a lot of them, they still make mistakes. However, your mother tongue is something you can get used to, and your mistakes will be quite minimal. And there is a research that was even conducted in the United States where they were able to validate that children that are multilingual, that they speak more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 languages, they are even more brilliant in classes. There's an association between you being a multilingual and also you being successful academically. So it is encouraged, and there's a study that validated that children between the age of 0 to 6 can master 0 to 7 can master 6 languages effortlessly. If there's somebody that speaks consistently with those children English language, they will master English language. And one funny thing about we, even in Nigeria, as parents at home, we want to speak English language to our children because we want people to say, yeah, your child is sophisticated, is civilized, etc. However, you yourself, your English language is terrible. A lot of Nigerians, even on TV, their English language is terrible. So leave the work of your child understanding the English language, which is our lingua franca in Nigeria, leave it to the school. But your own mother tongue language, make it your own work that you teach your children. One of the most renowned and most respected lawyers Nigeria has ever produced, in person of Gani Fawemi, the late Gani Fawemi. There was a time, I think it was Wole Soyinka that called him, and his son, or his child, Gani Fawemi's child, that picked the call. When he picked the call and he spoke, he was speaking Yoruba with Wole Soyinka. And Wole Soyinka later asked the father, your children speak Yoruba all the time. He said, it is prohibited for my children to even speak Yoruba. In the house, they must speak our dialect. It's because they know you don't understand Yoruba. That is why they spoke Yoruba to you. And one of my quite respected scholar in Nigeria here, an associate professor, in his house is from Nupe. In his house, it is mandatory for all the children to speak Nupe. So they speak Nupe. Now they've acquired Nupe. The children, they've also acquired Hausa, and they've acquired English language. And another language is looking at even learning, acquiring himself now is French. So you have 0 to 7 to make your children, mold your children into what you want them to be. Once you leave that time, once you don't know what your children are consuming between age 0 to 7, you've lost that child. They are the children you will keep on saying, I don't know where they got this from. It was because you were not in their life from age 0 to 7. So that particular child of yours that is at age 0, the things you are doing, that child is going to that child's subconscious. And don't forget, the behavior of human beings are controlled by the subconscious. So if actually you want a child that is very good in mathematics, start introducing mathematics to that child. At the age of 1, 2, make sure that child focuses on that. If you want a child to be good in medicine, start familiarizing that child with medical stuff. And this is what they do in Finland. And a lot of researchers have validated Finland to have the best education in the world. Even those that did not pick Finland as the best, to have the best education in the world, they picked it as the second best education in the world. And in Finland, you don't start school until the age of 6. And even when you start school at the age of 6, they have very big compounds. They don't limit children into small cocoons that children will not be able to navigate around the natural habitat. So they place things around their children, and from there they are able to identify the skills of children, their talent. And this is something I want you to take note of. Your children between age 0 to 7, you must spend a lot of time with them, and you must program them towards what you want them to become. If you want them to be very quite religious, program them to respect their religion. And I will make this example, and I will end on this note till we meet in the next episode. There was a time I was interacting with Senator Khairat Gwandabe, and she told us one of the things that she learned while she was young with her parents, because Senator Khairat Gwandabe was the senator in FCT from 1999 to 2003. His younger brother now currently is the governor of Kwara State. Also, his elder brother is the owner of Regent School, one of the best schools in Nigeria. So they are quite successful. And she said one of the things she can remember when they were growing up, that they had lots of children in their home, and there was never a discrimination that this is my biological child or not. If your children do not respect elders and you are bothered by that, you caused it. You know why? Because your children have seen that the only group of people you respect are people who have money. So when your friends come, they see how you cheerfully welcome your friends. However, they see the way you interact with your gate man. They see the way you interact with your cleaner. So at the end of the day, they go to school, they don't even respect their teachers. Why? Because it is recorded in their programming, in their subconscious, that the only criteria that our parents use in respecting people is money. So when they get to school and they find out that their teachers, their colleagues are not rich, they look down upon them. It was because you programmed them that way. So spend fantastic time, quality time with your children when parenting them. And also, probably in some of our subsequent episodes, I will also help you with ideas about how to reprogram yourself. Although it is extremely burdensome, but it is something that is possible. Till I meet you in the next episode.
Ramadan Mubarak.